and soul. Now, here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
The Daily Dish. You're here. So am I. Thanks so much for showing up. Glad you're here. Thank you again for checking us out on Saturday. This is the Daily Dish. This is where we talk about how to build vibrancy in our lives, heart, mind, body, and soul. And this whole week, we have been discussing this whole idea of commitment. And boy, oh boy, oh boy. I don't know about you, but it's got me all charged up and ready for 2022. Here's all my girls. Hey there, Nancy, Helen. Good to see you, Flynn. I'm so glad you're in the house. Amber's in the house, of course, and she's at the helm. She's running the show, y'all. So give Amber some loving. She's a little nervous. Good grief, she should not be. Denise is here. Terry's here. Joanne and Francesca, I'm so glad you're all here. Was today not powerful and in inner circle? OMG. I'm telling you, it just lit my soul on fire. Kathy, you're here. Teresa, Susan, I'm so happy you're all here. Angie's in the house as well. Today, we're going to get into the weeds about what it means to keep a commitment and what that looks like. I promise you it's going to be a good one. Hi, Susan. Nice to see you. Who else is here? Joanne, of course, Martha, Francesca, Corliss. Who else is here? Carol, Jema. I'll tell you. Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. And boy, do we have some amazing things that I'm going to be sharing with you today. All kinds of stuff coming up. Remember I told you to save the date on January 8th. Anybody remember that? Anyone? Well, on January 8th, that's a Saturday, we're going to do an all-day workshop that is going to encompass all the things, setting us up to tee up 2022 in a way that is going to check all the boxes. Vibrancy, check. How I feel in my own skin, check. How I see my life progressing, check. Because I'll tell you what, this is the whole thing. You know, we are human beings, heart, mind, body, and soul. We're not just there's not just one little piece. It's not just about this. It's not just about that. It's about all the things. And that's not to pile on. That's to say, look at who you are, you know, fearfully and wonderfully made, on purpose and for purpose. And guess what? I want to celebrate that with you all day in our workshop, Saturday, January 8th. We're going to start at 9 a.m. Eastern. I know it's early for my West Coasters. But boy, oh boy, it's going to just absolutely light you up. We're also going to be doing vibrant vision boards. You want to find out about it? We have a link. savingdinner.com/vibrant 2022. And we'll put that in the chat for you so that you have that. Because I'm telling you, I cannot emphasize this enough. The better we tee it up, the more we're going to be able to execute and go through and get things done. That's it. That's how it works. New quote of the week, which I think absolutely illustrates everything that we're talking about. And we've been talking about, and boy, my inner circle lovelies are going to see this one and go, wow, suffering is universal. Victimhood is optional. Should I say it again? Suffering is universal. Victimhood is optional. This is a book that, by the way, some of you, this might be a really good thing for you. And also, Amber, can you throw down that link for the workshop, savingdinner.com/vibrant 2022? Look, it's called The Gift, 12 Lessons to Save Your Life from Edith Edgar. I want you to know who Edith Edgar was. I think she's passed now. But Edith Edgar was, I believe she was a twin, and she was in those horrible experiments in the Nazi concentration camp with Mengele, or whatever his name was. This is one of the most powerful books I've ever read. It makes me cry my eyes out. Made me cry my eyes out. And the fact that anybody who had been in a Nazi concentration camp comes back and says something like this, pay attention. Pay attention. There's a lesson right here for you. Suffering is universal. Victimhood is optional. This woman chose not to be a victim. There you go. All right. What else can I tell you about today? We do have our Ultimate Mix books are still available, but they're not going to be for long. They are flying out the door. With them, you get all of these little individual spice labels so that you can make a whole spice collection of different mixes. How much better is this than buying that crap in a tear-off envelope from the from the grocery store? And I'll tell you, this is what it will end up looking like. This is our garlic lime chicken seasoning. And you see it says number 10. That's because it corresponds with number 10 recipe in the Ultimate Mix book. And it lays flat for you. I mean, it's a phenomenal gift. And can you imagine, this is what I see. You go through and you do all these spices. We have a link for you to buy inexpensive spice jars off of Amazon for less than $20. You get all these spice jars all lined up, and they're in a gift box, and it has this little book to go with it. You're going to light somebody's little life on fire. You're going to make them just absolutely so ecstatic. Can you imagine? savingdinner.com/mixbook. That's where you're going to find it. And this is a one and done thing. We're just doing this for the holidays. So if you want it, go grab it. Get one, get two. Give it to somebody in your life that would love to know how to cook, feels lost in the spices thing. This is how we help them out. All right, Debbie's in the house. Hello, Debbie. It's good to see you. Cora, nice to have you aboard. We got a whole bunch of other people here. Look at that. Jeanette's in the house too. Lucy's here. Jocelyn's here. Divine Life Advocates. That's Diane. What a good name for you, Diane. Hello. So glad you're here. Jama's here. Carol made it. Corliss did. And of course, there's Francesca. So glad you're all here. Like I said, we're going to wrap this all up today. So I'm really happy you're here to see that. And again, this quote of the week is gold. Maybe this is something that you need to write down to remind yourself about. Hi, Terry. I'm glad you're here. Our apple cider vinegar is only available until, at least the deal anyway, buy 3, get 1 free. That kind of deal. That's what I'm talking about. And this is what it looks like. And I'll tell you, this makes a world of difference with digestion. savingdinner.com/show. That's where we hide all of our supplements of the week. And go see it. Go check it out. This is how you should be purchasing your supplements of the week, because this is how you get a stock supply of our supplements, and it'll help you to stay consistent with supplements. Guess what? You can't just take a supplement here and expect a miracle and then stop taking it. Doesn't work that way. Just like exercise, just like building a muscle. You got to do it consistently, and it makes all the difference in the world. You'll feel it. I promise you. You will feel the difference. All right. We will have quite a list going right now for Inner Circle, savingdinner.com/circle. We got a lot of people who just today said that they're going to be renewing. So, we only have 50 seats for this. If you're interested, savingdinner.com/circle. There you go. But get on the wait list anyway. I want you on the wait list. If you want to be here, there's Lincoln. You hear him? You know why? Mailman's here. So exciting. But if you, and I will say this too, Joanne's right. It does help to keep up on the supplements, and to also, the reason that we do our supplement of the week or special of the week is so that you can stock up without paying full price. We always cut you a deal. We do special buys so that we can do that. When we buy more, we get our product for less, and we're able to pass on the savings. So that's why we do that. I would also really give you another big heads up that you can get the Carousel of Crazy book at any time. And listen, it's not just about weight. How many of you found that there's more than one Carousel of Crazy in your life? Me. All right. Well, listen, go check out this book and read it. savingdinner.com/crazy. That's where we have the book and the workbook that go with it. It's You know, I feel like I could write volume 2 and 3 after this because there's so much there that you're going to want to go through. Seriously, there's a lot that you're going to want to go through. It's big time. And if we're going to get a grip on our lives, we have to get a grip on our mindset. That's all there is to it. But I mean, that's simple, not easy, right? Of course. But here's the thing. You got to start somewhere. And that's exactly what the Carousel of Crazy is all about, is starting somewhere. And we start with food. Yeah? Pinky's up. Right on, Joanne. Right on, Carol. Carol said she's on the wait list. I love that. So, by the way, if you want your question answered next Friday, do send it in. And I love it when you send them in early. It just makes it a little bit easier. Send them in to support@savingdinner.com. Question for Leanna on Friday goes right there in the subject line. And I will support you on your journey. People have nutrition questions, supplement questions, whatever. I am not a doctor, but I am a nutritionist. I am interested in you. I do see you. And I want to make sure that you know that I will hold space for whatever it is that you need. Seriously. Well, within reason. Can we just say that? You just got to send those questions in. There you go. All right. Let's talk about today's subject, shall we? And don't forget, tomorrow we go dark. We take Sundays off for all of us and for you and for our team so that we can refresh and be ready for jumping back on Monday. But I want to talk about today about this whole idea of commitment, because we've been talking about this all this week. And there is something about commitment. You know, we've heard of people who are commitment phobes. We've heard of people who jump all in and get all the way in and just, take it right to the finish line and do a really good job. And then there's those of us in the middle who are just like in and out and in and out and trying to get this thing drilled down. Like, how do I stay committed? How do I stay the course? How do I become the woman that I'm meant to be? But I believe that to keep your commitments requires change. And I think that's kind of one of our hiccups. And that's one of the places where, wow, I just look at everything and just say, what the heck is that all about? I look at that because, it's hard to assess sometimes what commitment means and how we adjust it to fit every single situation. That's why we're going to dig into this on what committed is and what true commitment is about and how that translates into taking this into your life to that next level. And by the way, speaking of taking it into your life and to the next level, one of the things that I told you we like to do and help you with is saving money. That's why we have our special of the week. We also have just started our SMS text messaging thing. I hate the word SMS because I'm always like, what's that mean? What does that mean? Text messages. So if you have a phone, we all do, send the word join in a text message to this phone number, 855-960-3720. I almost forgot to tell you about it because special deals, exclusive deals just for our text message folks. We don't have that many people in it, and we don't do text messages very often because I'm honest, hand to God, I'm going to be super honest with you. It is really expensive. But I also want to give you an opportunity to have a different way of connecting with us if you're not fond of emails. And you should be getting our emails every day because we only do one a day, and it is our newsletter that gives you the show notes the next day. It's important. So today's show is going to be in tomorrow's newsletter. Just go to savingdinner.com and just sign yourself up. You won't regret it. So if you're becoming committed to being healthy, this is going to be a logical sequence, right? If you're committed to being healthy, that means you might have to stop doing some behaviors and start adding some behaviors in. That means maybe your car does not swing into the drive-through lane on the way home because you're hungry. Maybe instead you just say, you know what? 10 minutes from home, I can handle this. When I get home, I'm going to have something in my refrigerator, some hot melt soup, a little cup of bone broth, and stay mindful because my commitment is to eating healthy food. If you're committed to becoming stronger, you know what that means? That means you're going to have to show up consistently in the gym and not just lace up your shoes, but actually do something other than lacing up your shoes. But I'll tell you what, if you lace up your shoes, there's kind of a trigger there that says, okay, now that might as well do it now that I got my shoes on. And for me, I have a bike that I have to snap into, click into, and my pedals, it's the weirdest experience. Never had to do this before. But when you put those shoes on, those shoes don't go anywhere else because you slide all over the place. They have these weird little triangles right there on what is that? It's not the sole of your foot. I guess it is the front part of what is the front part of the pad of your foot? Is there a name for that? That's not the sole of your foot, is it? Whatever, but that's where it is. And you snap in. And if I get those shoes on, I'm getting on that bike. That's a commitment. It's a commitment to doing the next best thing, right? So that's just basically, it's going to require you do it the ball of your foot. Thank you, Susan. I don't know why I couldn't figure that one out. But yeah, so you snap in, you click in, you're in, you are fastened in for let's go. And when you're doing that, you're making a commitment to not sitting on your butt all day, but actually doing something and moving more than just the needle, moving your bod. Moving your body it changes the whole entire chemistry of your body, changes everything. So commitment is built on the back of consistency, and it's also built on the back of action. You can't, you can say you're committed, but if you're not doing something that shows commitment, it's just lip service. Vince Lombardi said this. This is so good, by the way. The quality of a person's life is in direct proportion to their commitment to excellence. Now, I want you to notice what he said. In direct proportion to their commitment to excellence. He didn't say being perfect. He said being excellent. I think that's such a huge delineation right there. It separates. It separates out, because what does being perfect do? Being perfect doesn't happen this side of glory, number one. Number two, perfect is unattainable. Number three, perfect gets us to the place of paralysis because we haven't quite gotten it there yet. It's garbage. It's garbage. It's a garbage quality because it doesn't work on earth. It's not for earthlings. Are we dialed into that? Listen, human being, you in the earth suit, yes, I'm talking to you. You can be excellent, but you cannot be perfect any more than I can or any other person on this planet. But if we make a commitment to excellence, our lives are just going to fall beautifully into place. That doesn't mean it's going to be perfect, right? That doesn't mean there's going to be, it's going to have no little bumps along the way. It means the bumps along the way are going to be teachers, and we're going to allow for that. Instead of saying, whoa, hold on, throw it all out. I signed up for excellent. I signed up for perfect. Come on. Perfect doesn't happen. Perfect doesn't happen. Commitment requires responsibility to your results, right? To your results. Just full-on acceptance. Just full-on acceptance of your results. No excuses, no blaming. You just take them. You just take them. And the results you're looking for are because the results that you're going to get are because of your commitment or your lack of commitment. I have this in my gym, okay? It says that it's right over where my bike is, and it's right here on the little stand. Hear that noise? That's holding my little laptop here. And you know what it says? It says this: you don't have what you want because you're not committed to it. And that's just sharp and brutal. But sometimes we need sharp and brutal to just go, boom, cold water. Here it is. And I need that in front of my face. I need that to remind me that my commitment is going to get me there. My commitment, if I don't have what I want, I'm not committed enough. I need to be committed. Consistent commitment means that the results that I get are the results that I want. That's a big deal. TD Jakes, you know who he is, right? I love that guy. He said, without commitment, nothing happens. Can I get a pinkies up on that? Pinkies up. I want you to see this. If you don't commit, you won't get it. If you don't commit to the excellence that you want in your life, you are not going to get it. You're not at all. Because commitment is required for excellence. Excellence doesn't just bloom in your garden for no reason. Excellence happens because it's on purpose and for purpose, just like you were planted here on this earth for purpose and by He who made you, fearfully and wonderfully made, by the way. Keep thinking about these things. Drill it down, because that excellence absolutely comes out in the commitment you've made or you haven't made. You know, ask anybody who's been married for any period of time who says, I'm happily married. Let me just tell you something. They're going to tell you it's because they worked on it. They're going to tell you it's because they were present every day in their marriages. I can't tell you, I have a few friends of mine who have, when they went to the empty nest time of life, their marriages fell apart because they just kept getting through one day after the other, doing the things for the kids, building their, nest egg, their homes, their whatever, and they became strangers. Marriages don't work that way. You can't put it off. You can't sideline it. And any relationship, you can't put it on the side until it's convenient to work on it, by the way. And I will say this, that convenience and commitment are two very far away things. We talked about that earlier this week. Gandhi said, you must be the change you want to see in the world. And I will say, Leanne says, you must be the change you want to see in your world. This reflects on you. Gandhi was looking at something obviously very differently and very globally, but it boils down to your little world, the little ripple that you are making in the world around you and everyone that you touch. And I want you to hear me right now, that you touch everyone that's within your realm. The loving care that you give your elderly father, Joanne. I love you, Joanne, and I know you do. Joanne is a lover of her father's soul. Flynn is a lover of her son's soul. Allison is a lover of her son's soul. All of you, I can say that you are lovers of the people who are closest to you. You're lovers of their souls. And you're committed to them. And you're committed to their excellence by being committed to your own. Do you hear me? This is me loving you up, by the way. I'm calling you to self-care. I'm calling you to the commitment that you have to yourself. I'm calling you to the purpose that you've been called upon to live. I'm calling you out. And I'm calling you out because there is so much more for you. And this means everything. This means everything because it situates us in a place of purpose. It situates us, it's well with our souls when we understand this excellence. It's well with our souls when we understand that as we love each other up, as much as we can, as much as within us, that we are doing God's work. We're called for such a time as this. And excellence is in that love. And love is in that excellence. Oh, Julie, you know what? We're here for you, honey. And I hope you consider Inner Circle next time. You would have loved today's session. I'm just saying. So I want to talk about how do we do that? How do we translate this into our lives? Well, the first thing is to understand what true commitment is. And I say this to the caregivers and to the mothers and to the people who are struggling right now, who have the tough stuff, who have the things in their lives that we really love to not have, right? I say that because it's just the truth. But we have to understand that this is your life. This is the season that you're in right now in your life. Life, have you noticed life constantly changes, that one day you have children in your house and the next day they're gone? Your daughter goes off and gets married and doesn't have grandchildren, but that's another story. Sorry, Caroline, if you're listening. We have to understand that, no one else is going to decide for us. You've got to make that decision. You know, we have different seasons in our lives. We have different times in our lives. And pray for Kentucky, by the way. They just got hit and walloped by these huge storms, these tornadoes that killed 70 people so far. That's a season in Kentucky's history and life. It's season. Tomorrow, there's going to be cleanup involved. And in a year from now, they're going to look back on this time. And in 10 years, it's going to be also a time, but there's rebuilding involved, right? Fear and nervousness might try to pull you down as you're going forward with a true commitment to the things that are in front of you, the hard stuff even. It might try to pull you down, but it doesn't have to have its way. You get to choose. You get to decide. You get to make this commitment. You got to decide, am I going to live my life powerfully or am I going to live my life pitifully? Am I going to make these decisions? Am I going to go forward and just say, whatever, let the, whatever fall where it may? We all live in some kind of a storm sometimes, all of us. No one is immune. But just like our dear friend Edith, victimhood is optional. Your suffering, I will not minimize ever. I will never discard that. But you still can make a commitment to the way that you want your life to go. You still can, amidst the suffering and choosing to say no to the victimhood. Victimhood doesn't have to have a grasp on you. And I don't care who's in your life trying to make you feel like a victim. I don't care what kind of garbage is there. We all have to wade through it sometimes to get to the other side. Life isn't fun sometimes. It's challenging. But even still, there are those you can love up. There are those that you are committed to. And there are those who are just waiting for an encouraging word from you. And as you give that out, that's true commitment, by the way, to yourself and to others. And as you give that out, it is going to come back to you tenfold. That's a promise, because that's how it works. You need to make SMART goals. That's number 2. Ever hear of that one? Anyone ever do Take Back Your Life journal? We use that. That's one of our frameworks, but we do it a little bit differently. And that's all part and parcel of a little bit of how we're going to be setting up our Vibrant 2022 that we're going to be talking about, which I'm really ecstatic about, by the way. But SMART goals, it's specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-based. Now, realistic doesn't mean you have to shrink back and not be yourself. Realistic means that you don't say, well, here I am, I'm 63, I've decided I'm going to be a prima ballerina with the New York City Ballet. Realistically, if I want to do something with ballet, that just means I need to be dedicated to ballet and do that within the container I have, right? That's how that thing works. I just want to say that to you. And I also want to say to you that, can we just make a pinkies up promise that we're done with New Year's resolutions? Anyone ever notice how worthless they are? They're nothing. There's no planning involved. It's just writing a bunch of stuff down, and usually it's pretty useless. I'm going to get organized. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to eat at home more often. Those are the top 3, by the way. But what does that all mean? Is it measurable? Is it specific enough? Is it time-based? Right? It's time for us to step up our game if we are going to live and done and be the vibrant women that we want to be. Things have got to change. You can't keep doing it the same way. You got to commit to a newer way, to a way of excellence, and stop the perfect. Perfect doesn't exist here on the planet. There it is. Number 3 is you got to know your why. You know why you need to know your why? You want to know why? You need to know your why. That sounds dumb. But there's a reason why you know your why. When you know your why, that will light you on fire. That's your hot desire. Your why tells the story. Your why is going to get you to the place where you finally connect the dots. You connect heart to heart with the thing you want. It's not just pie in the sky. It's not just, well, I'd like to. It's not just, let me think about it. It's like, this is what I want. This is my hot desire. This is why I want to have it. You emote, you feel it. It's everything. It's on your vision board. It's written out as a goal, and it's smart. It is part of what you talk about. It's the thing that you look for, and you set yourself up in a framework of hot desire because your why is everything. That's commitment right there. That why, big time commitment. Nothing can tear you away from that. And number 4 is you got to plan for it, not like a perfectionist would do, by the way. This is how a perfectionist plans. Well, it needs to be such and such. Oh, shoot, gosh, I didn't get such and such done. I'm not going to sprint this time. So maybe next time because I don't have the XYZ done. I don't have this done. I don't have that done. It's not just right. It's not completely 100% in the row. It's not just the way it needs to be. Let me say this. Those who fail to plan to fail. You've heard that one before. I have no idea who said that. And we do need to plan. We do need to set up. That is our setup, by the way. That's teeing the whole thing up. That's putting the ball right there on the little tee, swinging the ball and getting it out of the park. See what a great golfer I am. But I'm going to tell you right now, that's the component in commitment that helps you to see next steps. This is what I need to do next. This is going to carry my commitment by planning it out. And it doesn't have to be complex. It doesn't have to be hard. You don't have to dot every I and cross every T. You don't even have to know exactly what comes next. You just have to know your why, and you need to plan for it as best you can. And then wait for the next thing. I know, risky, right? But commitment is risky. Commitment is risky. It's saying, okay, I'm hitching my star to that wagon. I'm going to do this. But I'm telling you that a goal without a plan is just a wish. True. I don't want you wishing away your life. I don't want you only ifing it. I want you having it, attaining it, being it. Because that's a life well worth living. That's the road less traveled. That's the road I'm asking you to join me on for 2022. Because honestly, it's everything. We've been pandemicked for 2 years now, pretty much, around. We've been in this place of being in a holding pattern. I want to land that plane. I want to land that plane, get these things accomplished, and become the women that we've been called to be. And it comes with commitment. It's built on the back of commitment. And when we do this, and when we go all in, and when we understand every loving action that we have, every loving thing that we do, that is only reinforcing the commitment that we have to living these vibrant lives that we've declared that we want to live. Number 5 is assess daily, because whatever is measured is improved. Peter Drucker said that. It's true. It's true. This is why we do that with the sprint, just so you can see how exciting it is, to get on the scale one day and then get off the scale. By the way, we have one more day left for the last sprint of the year. It's exciting. savingdinner.com/sprint. If you have never been a part of it, we will sprint again in January as a group. But I'm going to tell you right now that it's the little things. It's those little tiny habits that build on top of each other that create the change that we're all looking for. It creates the commitment to the change, and it creates the life well worth living. It does. Big results happen when we consistently execute on these little things every single day. Every single day, you can make a choice just to change up one more thing. In my goal, I shared this a while ago, but in my Take Back Your Life journal, one of the things that I wrote as a goal, which kind of came as an aha from my meditation practice and journaling, was the connection that I had with the people in my life that I loved, especially my children and Mark, because these are obviously my most important people, right? And I was thinking about how it's so easy for me to not say something loving, or to reach out and just, give them a little something, to just do that. And I had to work on it. And I made it part of my goal when we first started doing it way back in April. made it part of my goal to build on that and just text a little more often, make a phone call a little bit more often, whatever, as I went on. And wouldn't you know it, out of all of this, it just, things started to solidify, and I felt more involved with their lives and less distant, even though at that time, both of my kids are on the West Coast, I'm here on the East. And it just made it was a deliberate act of loving instead of just having it happen. We think that loving should just be, oh, it just happens. It just is. And for some people, they're completely gifted that way. But for me, I had to remind myself to see something special in my children, to see something special and appreciate in Mark, to do something that every day was just a little touch of this kind of a loving thing. And what I've noticed is that it improved. Look what's just happened. My daughter has moved closer. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but why not? And she's just now an hour away. She was over here yesterday for a good part of the day, and we had a really good time. Mark and I got married, who knew? And I just believe it's just these little things that connect and create the big thing that we want. Little things. Assess daily, because that is, you can look and see and just say, oh, I just need to be a little more loving. I need to make sure that this person understands that I appreciate and care about them. I need to make sure that he knows that I am the lover of his soul, And doesn't that just grow your heart? Can you just feel that? I do. Number 6 is to celebrate your wins. Way to go, Leanne. Look at what you just did. I do this with my workouts. It just makes me so happy. We hear our names more than any other name above all. We hear the name, right? That's why every woman in the room will turn when some kid says mom. We all turn. Right? You caught talking to me? Nope, not to you. That mom over there. And we also have to evaluate our defeats and not let them take us down, because that defeat holds a lesson for us. And we put those in the experience file because the lesson is important. And the rest of it, the beating up, the this, the that, the guilt, all the stuff we don't like, that has no purpose or reason for being. And I'm not dismissing, you feel this stuff, but ask yourself, is this serving me? Is it appropriate? Does it even belong here anymore? You know the answer to that. I'll tell you, for me, I know when it's time to get rid of it. And I also know when it's time to look at it and go, there's a lesson there, sister. I need to take that one to the bank. And number 7, this is the last one. Embrace, lean in, hold space for the journey. We all want to hit our goals, right? Don't you? I know I do. I've got goals. I've got things. I'm completely getting ready personally, business-wise, mission-wise for 2022. I am pumped. But guess what? I know deep within my heart that the journey is going to be the most awesome experience that I can experience if only I will let go of this anxiousness of getting there and allow myself to process and to learn and to become. You get to do this. We have the freedom in our lives to do this very thing and to have that experience of that magnificent journey that's ever before us. Follow the yellow brick road. It is going to get you past Oz into the home of where you want to be. Can you imagine? Commitment is an act of becoming. When we understand that it's basically an agreement with our higher self. That's what it is. To fearlessly become a journey woman. A journey woman. I like that word. To fearlessly become a journey woman. And that is in and of itself a privilege, an adventure, and a learning experience, all wrapped up into one big box. Big box with a humongous bow on it, of your choice. Of your choice. True commitment like this features soul, helps you to live your life vibrantly in full bloom, and creates exactly the life you're looking for, exactly what it is that you want. And I'm just going to put in a very shameless pitch here and say, join me on Saturday, January 8th for the Vibrant Workshop, Creating a Vibrant 2022, because it's going to be off the chain. Off the chain. That's savingdinner.com/vibrant 2022. Don't you want that? I want that for me. I want that for you. I want that for our entire community. We have the ability to create this. Can you imagine being the creator of your own life? I don't know about you, but that just lights me up. All righty, that's all we have for you today. Peace be with you. I hope to see you. Have a great Sunday, by the way, and I will see you on Monday for Motivational Monday. Thanks for being a part of my world. You mean everything. I mean it. See you later. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. Check back for new episodes. If you missed the live show, you can always watch the replay. You can find Saving Dinner on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Until next time, pinkies up.